And your commentary team is Jeremy Jones and Michael McMahon.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. Great to have JJ alongside me here. And at the moment, Jeremy, Billy Thorpe, as much as anything, needs to get some matches under his belt.
Yeah, we talked here the last couple of weeks back in the States. And he's just little things, you know, little things make a lot of confidence or make a lack of confidence at times. So, yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there, Michael, that it's going to be match time. It's going to be, you know, pocketing a lot of balls for Billy. And then, you know, just like a player turning the corner with their game, you know, a player like Billy, it doesn't take much for something to click just right. And, you know, find the timing in the swing, get a little more confidence, get the head right, and, you know, put some wins together.
He had a win earlier today in the opening round against Ip Tung Pong, but it was a hill finish. And a bit of work to do at the end of it. It wasn't straightforward finishing it off in that deciding rack, but got the job done.
Well, one thing that doesn't help you as much when you're not in form, you might say, and it's for Billy, it's a lot of getting those matches under his belt again, but is high pressure nerves. You know, that doesn't really add up to someone that's not as confident as maybe some other players. So he's got to battle all kinds of little demons right now, and not only that, he's got to battle one heck of a player here in Fortunski. Already missed the safety here a little bit. Fortunski let it go as well. Pretty bad mistake there, overcutting the 1. He was trying to put that 1 on the 2 and use the 9 as a big blocker. Now Billy has a chance to get something started.
Billy Thorpe from Ohio, still only 25 years of age. Feels he's been around quite a while already.
And I think working the clock is a big part for Billy. You know, he's always had an issue of getting a little bit in a hurry. You know, the stroke gets a little fast with that, even when he's, you know, in form. So now, I hate to say the word struggling. Struggling's, you know, struggling's something when you've been playing a lot, right? And you just all of a sudden start having problems. But I think it's just a matter of time for Billy Thorpe.
So rusty is perhaps more the word.
Yeah, in a funny way, I guess. World-class player being rusty is hard to imagine, but especially, like you said, 25 years old. All right, big combo here. It looks like the 2 may come back and contact the cue ball if he makes the combo. So no guaranteed position. And he'll take that. Maybe an early winner here, Michael.
So we have another look at it. He's at number 45 in the new world ranking system, but that's largely because he's been quite inactive, and that's why the committee that decided the initial standings on the rankings put him that far down. I don't think anyone really feels that when everyone's playing a full schedule, there are 44 better players than Billy Thorpe in the world. So I'm sure we'll see him bring that number down significantly as we move to the points-based system gradually over the course of the year.
Yeah, this is going to rest near the rail and maybe cause a little bit of a problem. He's going to have to make one heck of a shot here on the 4. Don't think he can afford to go forward. I think he may have to elevate the cue. Now Billy is, you know, in the States known as one of the best bankers in the game, so this may be able to, you know, lend a hand in just rolling forward and banking the 6 cross side.
He's already won a couple of Banks events in the States this year. So many of his best results come in that form.
Yeah, this is funny though. Anytime you're on the new felt, the banks aren't as easy as he may make them look at times. May have to slow roll this one a bit. Yeah, it went long.
You know, you're right, Jeremy. He is famed for his bank shots, but it seems every time we mention it in commentary, he then goes and misses the next bank shot.
Well, it's just the new felt. It doesn't grab quite like we expect. And Billy's aware of that. And there's no, fooling Billy when it comes to the ball, but still hard to judge. Now Fortunski can make up for that missed safety early in rack 1. Very fast bed they're playing on here. It's going to be the one that the players have to get used to the most.
Billy Thorpe, one of 6 Americans featuring in this round.
Wow, we have that many in this round alone, huh?
Yes, you do.
You could hear that ball kind of had a little skid. It's a little act of friction. We talk about pool where the 2 balls collide. Kind of act a little bit, a little foreign, what we expect. Now Fortunski's just going to draw this back a little bit, I believe. He's falling kind of flat here. I don't understand that at all. He didn't really go down and look at where he wanted to get on the 8, and I thought for sure bringing the cue ball back a little bit. Now he's got to elevate on what should have been something a little more routine, Michael.
And that has been played pretty much to perfection. Well, actually, now that we go back to looking at it, he's maybe overrun it a bit, but this shouldn't really be a problem.
And you'll see the players after they settle in, they'll take a little distance on a lot of these shots rather than trying to get a little closer to it and then overrun the cue ball. Fortunski, much different than, oh, he's banking this, it looks like now. Wow. Hard to bank that softly and expect to be able to judge it well.
Yeah, looked to have played it ideally, but as you say, Jeremy, this cloth playing very fast, so it just refused to stop in time, and what looked to be a certain 1-0 lead to Fortunski could now very well go the other way. Thorpe has this to take the opener. Very eventful route, but Billy Thorpe has got there in the end. He leads Mieszko Fortunski 1-0 on this opening day of the World Championship here in Milton Keynes.
Yeah, very shocked Fortunski didn't cut that ball in the corner, and if he didn't like the corner, maybe the side even.
So play underway on all the tables. Let's see what's going on. Kelly Fisher here, 2-0 up already in this match against Immonen. And this is one that would be a real great victory for her if she could pull it off.
Well, no one's taken her lightly, that's for sure. She may have more titles than anybody in the room, Michael.
Yeah, and she won easily earlier against Justin Toy, 9-1. Mika Immonen was also a 9-1 winner against Anna Gradiznik.
Kelly a little out of line on these last 2 balls, but she sure can pocket the ball. Shouldn't be a problem with the 9 on the side.
One of Britain's leading 9-ball players, either male or female, I think you'd have to say, about Kelly Fisher. And of course, one of the best ever women's snooker players. Back here, Billy Thorpe breaking, 1-0 in front.
And the balls have broke well here on the main table. That would fill her. What did he end the match with, 6 in a row or something like that?
Yeah, he played so well. Certainly the best performance I've seen so far.
Push out code.
Now, Billy, doesn't always come about where you can roll out to a bank shot, but playing different games really helps the rollout. In America we play banks, play one pocket a little bit. Creative mind really lends towards, fooling your opponent on some rollouts at times. I think no 2 ways about it here, though, right? Looks looks like just an offensive shot on the one. The 2-4, or excuse me, the 2-5 combo is not that tough if he can get shape on it. He's going to play the safety. Fortunski really hasn't captured the speed of this table just yet. I think that's something that you never get comfortable with, it seems like, is the bed. The bed's so fast, you have to kind of guard against it at times, not try to get too close to your work. He's got to, speaking of not too close to his work, I think he's got to take a long shot on this combo here.
We saw Kelly Fisher 2-0 up. Peter Alawadi of Kuwait also leads by that score against Kasper Matikainen of Finland, the man who stunned Joshua Filler when he was defending champion. And speaking of Filler, he's won the opener against Oscar Dominguez. And Mark Boisterbosch 2-0 up against Daryl Chiasuyu.
Well, watch for Oscar. I mean, he hasn't played as much pool as he did years ago, of course, but here in the last 8 months, I guess, he's played a lot more. He played, of course, some big events back in the States, but it seemed like he didn't win them all. But every time he was up against one of the upper echelon players, it was a battle for both. So I wouldn't be surprised if Filler has a lot more of a match than he did in round number 1. And Billy putting together a nice little run here. Got a little thin here. He would have loved to have been just a little shade heavier on the 3-ball. Just kind of got to roll it in. You want to get on the other side of the 4 to play the 4 in the same pocket. That leaves a nice angle to come 1 or 2 rails back for the 6. Uh-oh. Yeah, and that's something we went over years ago on the slick table. You really can't, I don't know if you noticed there, you kind of put a little something into that 3-ball. When that happens on the slick table, the cue ball's going to dive downward a little bit. So you got to be committed to kind of roll those shots.
Extension code.
Experienced Mosconi Cup player, made his debut in 2017, the first of 4 successive appearances. I know he was full of excitement about playing in Coventry in late 2020. But apart from the opening team match, he only won 1 out of 4. Heavy defeat for the Americans.
Foul shot.
Ball in hand here now for Fortunski, and
Bow in hand.
you know, nothing wipes mistakes away
Start the clock,
easier
please.
than ball in hand, Michael. Talk about it all the time, whether you're struggling a little bit, you know, you made a couple little mental errors. Ball in hand sure seems to help that out. I would play this in the opposite side myself and just follow 1 rail between the 6-7, or not 1 rail, excuse me, just to the rail. This is fine too, through the upper corner. Anytime you can follow your ball in position, you're always going to be,
Extension code.
or usually you're going to be more accurate.
You see the word Polska on the back of Fortunski's shirt there. He's one of 4 Polish players in this round, and one of them, Daniel Maciol, is up against the defending champion, Albin Ocean. And it's Ocean leading there by 2-0. So that mistake Thorpe made, getting himself hooked, it's going to cost him in the end, because ultimately it's led to Fortunski taking this second rack and
Yes,
leveling
Fortunski
at 1
rack.
apiece.
And Team Poland, it's got to be something special having that many great players to push each other. Hard to figure out who the best player is, really.
Well, let's go down to Carl.
Cheers, boys. I've come out of the con box for a second and I'm down on the floor just to the right side. The runner-up of the US Open 9-ball championships, Alois Shishap, he's underway. It's very early stages, that match. Joshua Filler, we're used to seeing him on centre court. He's playing right over there, right in the back against Oscar Dominguez. It's currently 1-1. Ladies World 9-ball champion. He's playing 2-time men's world champion, Mika Immonen. She leads 3-0. It's all happening on day one of the World Pool Championships. Back to you, boys.
I think he's got a future in news reporting. We're going to lose him from the commentary box, Jeremy. You're right, though, what you were saying about Poland, though, just before we cut to Carl. So many good players coming out of there, and what they really are looking for is that one big star, someone who might win a big title, get in the Mosconi Cup team. Then you see
Third
things
rack.
take off even more.
Mieszko Fortunski to break, 1 rack each.
Yeah, I think, you know, Juszeszyn was their best player, but that kind of changed, I think, with Fortunski coming along. But hard to say now. I mean, they have another 5 or 6 guys that, you know, one thing about them, too, the Polish guys, for the most part, they play pretty simple pool. You know, they stick to the basics. Of course, have all the game, but they don't try to go overboard with too much, which I really like. Now he's got to take this on, even though it's not the easiest shot in the world, but natural position below the 5. I hit that sweet.
Yeah, absolute precision stuff there. We saw Carl a minute ago. His mate Darren Appleton going well, still battling away after all these years. Came through a hill finish earlier against Craig Osborne, and he's now leading 2-0 against Sebastian Barkowski, the man who defeated Alex Pagulayan earlier today.
Yeah, I was kind of watching that match from abroad, and I just didn't get to see Alex shoot much. At least the part of the match I watched. This is a winter break format. So you're going to have some guys or ladies, unfortunately, not get to spend much time at the table.
Yeah, it's the frustrating thing about this format, isn't it?
Well, it just adds pressure, and that's, I mean, that's what you want in a world title, right? You want pressure. There's a lot of guys, a lot of matches that you can set a favorite, but like right here on our first table, Han playing Kachi. Han from Singapore, really solid player, and I think Kachi's going to have his hands full. You
Yeah.
can go, you know, just up and down the venue here, and you can see just
Fine is 3-1 up in his match against Bashar Hussein Abdul Majid.
Rack 4.
Naoki Oi leading 3-0 against the Australian Matthew Edwards, who had a very good win earlier against Nikos Economopoulos. Joshua Filler with a 3-1 lead over Oscar Dominguez, who you were talking about a little earlier, Jeremy.
yeah, I think, you know, with opportunity, Oscar's going to put up a great fight. You know, Filler, he has a lot to feed off of in that first round win, though. Filler played a pretty flawless match. So did this 1-9 kind of get playable here? I don't know. Maybe the one off the 9 in the corner more than the 9 playable. I like the 1. I think the 1 is definitely playable. Kiss shot to the lower right. The 2's over the side.
There's some big names there. Skylar Woodward among them, looking on.
Yeah, young Shane Wolford and of course Corey Deuel. Looks like he's cutting the 1. I don't know if he's gonna hold any position on the 2 at all. And I'm not sure where he expected to go with the cue ball there. It looked like the path was kind of, you know, what it ended up, right? So maybe he's got more of the 2 than I think he does. It's not a hard kick shot though, with the, you know, going below the 9 at the 2 ball.
Just to avoid an international incident, I think I described Matthew Edwards as Australian. He's of course from New Zealand. He's 4-0 down now against Naoki Oi, who is quite definitely from Japan. Mika Immonen has really turned things around. 3-0 down against Kelly Fisher, but very quickly he's got it back to 3 each.
Our first look back at Billy after snookering himself early in rack number 2. And not the easiest event to, you know, oh, this is going to fall a little funny here. I know he's near it, but he's thin, so he's got to pick out a position. Can't afford to fall straight in on the 7 and on the rail. It'd be hard to get on the 8, but what I was getting at, Michaels, is, you know, besides the field and the title and the nerves that go along with all that, the fast conditions aren't the easiest to come into whenever you're not feeling that great about your game, or maybe a little bit off. Normally the players would like a little slower condition in that, you know, kind of situation, just because you can let the stroke out a little bit more. You're not trying to be so delicate.
Extension code.
Sure, and Billy Thorpe was saying he travelled here with very low expectations and spoke very self-deprecatingly about his first performance, and he may do the same about that shot. So a chance for Fortunski to continue his winning streak and go 2 clear, perhaps.
Yeah, and I don't think the 5 should have been that difficult, but I do think it was a touchy little shot getting on the 7 the way it laid. You can play a real first shot here, staying underneath the 8 ball. Looked like he played ball first. Scary situation for Billy right here, because you just kind of expect Fortunski to get the break down to where he's getting more shots on the 1.
So 3 racks in a row then for Mieszko Fortunski, and he gets a bit of breathing space for the first time in the match. He leads Billy Thorpe 3-1. Now let's have a look at table 2 and what's going on there. This is the match that Kelly Fisher, as we were saying, was leading 3-0 against Mika Immonen. Now 3-all, but a chance here for Fisher, it's really fancier to take, to regain the lead. Just overrun that a little bit, but shouldn't be a problem.
Extension.
Change extensions there. Just get a little bit better reach. Yeah, Mika, what kind of pool did he play whenever he won those world titles? Oh, man, he really just, it's one of the few that I've ever seen. You know, there's a few in the field now, but a few that can just kind of overtake the tournament, really, where you're just defenseless playing him when he was in his prime. I think Filler's a lot the same. Shaw, of course, Shane.
By 3 racks to 1.
Filler certainly showed that today and does so on a regular basis. Shaw a bit more unpredictable, of course. But you're absolutely right about Immonen. It's hard to remember a time when he wasn't around as a good player.
Yeah, he was an offensive juggernaut. When he won his first one in Cardiff, it was, I don't know how many racks he averaged, you you know, breaking and running out during each match, but it was something incredible. I wasn't one to watch much of guys that weren't, you know, close to me, but I certainly did sit there and watch him play every match, I think.
Mieszko Fortunski just turned 30 last week. He's been around a while as well. Win on the Euro Tour, the Italian Open, as long ago as 2016, and beat no less a figure than Ralph Suke in the final.
And Mieszko will tell you that, you know, I think it's something he's consciously worked on, but many think he should have won more events overall. Just sometimes, you know, could lose his cool a little bit. And you could see it cost him matches. I played him a couple times in the Kremlin Cup, and definitely had a little bit of an attitude at times. You know, got down on himself. You know, super nice guy. Nothing wrong with that. No problems there. But when things didn't go his way or he made a mistake, he kind of made it, you know, cost him a couple extra games for no reason, kind of.
Yeah, and I think that's something he's spoken about recently, and it is something he's aware of, and he is working on it, and I think he is showing signs of improvement in that regard. And he's certainly improving his position in this match. Really getting quite a bit of momentum behind him now. Fine rack that, and it takes him into a 4-1 lead over Billy Thorpe.
Yeah, it's such a cerebral game anyways, right? You can't look to get in your own way, because you're gonna have days where it's not all there anyways, and if you're adding to it, it just doesn't bode well for wins.
What a wonderful setting this is, to see so many fine pool players all in action at the same time in these wonderful conditions. Another triumph from Matchroom, even before a ball had been hit. It's their first ranking event promotion of the year. Have been other ranking events, but organised by other people. There's Niels Fyen. Someone else has been around for such a long time and accomplished so much in the game.
And recently back in form a little bit, right? The European Championships had a couple of nice finishes.
Rack 6.
I think he had a
Mieszko
win.
Fortunski break.
Third.
Leading by 4 racks to 1.
Yeah, and Fyen going really well today. 5-1 up against Bashar Hussein Abdulmajid, having already comfortably beaten Elliot Sanderson earlier in the day.
Fortunski has had heavy side spin on the break just about every time, so I gotta believe that's intentional. Looks like breaking from his right, putting a little bit of right English, which isn't too uncommon. A little swing here, maybe. I mean, I doubt it, but could go at the 9 a little bit here, kind of banking the 1 up. Could go at the 1 and possibly make the 9. Don't think the safety is like super easy. Much rather take on a tough shot rather than roll out and maybe not get back to the table, right? So, oh sweet, how clean was that hit?
Yeah, the shot of a very confident player, and the way this match is unfolding, no reason why he wouldn't be. Just keeping an eye on the defending champion Albin Ocean, going along very nicely now. 5-1 up against Daniel Maciol, already more than halfway to the victory that would claim his place in the 64-player single eliminations.
And that was center cut there, showing off that talent we talk about with Fortunski all the time. Get down and knocking in the tough shots. Ooh, caught a little bit of the 5 there.
Reached the last 16 of this World Championship last year and gave Albin Ocean a good contest before going down 11-8. Got to the same stage of the US Open as well. Lost to Max Lechner. And I think last 16 in events of this stature is pretty much where Mieszko Fortunski is in the game at the moment.
Oh, this is he's getting down on this kind of quick, I was going to say. Might see a mistake here after snookering himself on the 5. He's got to hit this thin not to give up a shot. He wants to double bank the 4 to the 5 to the end rail. Good speed. Wasn't ever going to get the snooker there. Just trying to leave some distance.
Feels like Billy Thorpe has been a bit of a spectator for much of this match.
And I don't know if Billy realizes this does bank between the 6-7, it looks like. Looks like he's going to try and bring the 4 down and put him behind the 6 a little bit on the side with the cue ball. Super tough shot. He played it just a mild safety. May go for this cross side. Oh wow. Talk about a thin hit. Barely rocking the 5 over. So even these types of shots are pretty touchy, Michael, trying to bring him up on the 6. Should be okay because he's got the 7 to put the 5 past also to give him a little more, you know, room with the safety.
Just a reminder that defeat at this stage does not mean elimination from the championship. Winners in this round, as I was saying, go through to that 64-player final stage, but even defeat in this round means you need 1 win on the loser's side tomorrow to also reach that final 64.
Oh, Mieszko's gonna love that. Billy, you know, probably 30% to make this, maybe a hair higher. If he feels good about judging the table. Anytime it's near the pocket like this, these guys get a great feel for pocketing this kick shot. He's got to go for this. Gonna hit right before the side with a little spin.
Foul shot.
Billy kind of hanging his head a little bit because he probably told himself, hey, the table's playing long. Make sure you come up short a little bit. He still went a little bit long overall. You just can't believe how slick the table is at times.
Really feels like Thorpe just hasn't got involved yet in this match. Fortunski now having had ball in hand with a great chance to make it 5 racks in a row. Alban Ocean, defending champion, looks to be cruising through. He's 7-1 up now against Daniel Maciol, Fortunski's fellow Pole. Darren Appleton 4-1 up against Sebastian Bakowski. Eklund Kachi 4-2 down against Tolian Han, player you were bigging up earlier, Jeremy.
Yeah, he's steady, Han is, and he runs with a couple guys that can play. That's Aloysius Yap and Shark Syed, so kind of a player that has instructed both those guys, you know, through the years.
Someone else you were saying good things about, Oscar Dominguez, is giving Joshua Filler a real contest. 4-all in that one now.
Rack 7.
No,
Mieszko Fortunski to break.
no,
Leading by 5 racks to 1.
no surprise the name Oscar Dominguez to any of these players.
Yep, and now he's leading 5-4 as we've just seen. So big result could be on the cards there.
It's all the intended right spin on the cue ball. He's going to get a thin cut on the 1, but if the 3 open stays open, he's going to attack. I think the 3 is shootable.
Just news on some other matches. Mika Immonen now leading 6-4 against Kelly Fisher, having been 3-0 down at one stage. Naoki Oi going well against Matthew Edwards of New Zealand, 5-2. John Morra has got a 6-1 lead over Marco Teutsch. Lucius Yap being given a real contest by Britain's Chris Alexander, 3-all in that one. Max Lechner 4-2 up, Masato Yoshioka. So much going on everywhere you look. And Albin Ocean on the hill. He leads Daniel Maciol 8-1.
And Fortunski not wanting to give an inch to Billy. You know, again, we talked about it earlier. You have a player that may be struggling or maybe hadn't had much time at the table. No reason to start him off with a cupcake.
Extension code.
Soft kick here. He's not going to. Oh, he did get a. It's a clean hit, but he's giving up a shot. I think he's giving up a shot. It looks like the 1 passes. Yes, it does. Now, is he too straight to get position on the 3 where he wants? Does he just lay him behind the pink again here? Hard for the players not to go aggressive. Going to catch a little small piece of the 8, it looks like. Still going to try and screw the cue ball all the way back. Thing you can take advantage of this slick felt right here. Doesn't take a ton of power. Oh, that was hit sweet.
Such a determined player, has a lot of belief in his own ability. Always gives off an air of feeling that he belongs as one of the top players. He isn't in that very highest bracket yet. As I said, last 16 and the 2 real standout events last year. This and the US Open with the big fields. So he's closing in on being one of those leading stars. And I guess, Jeremy, you're the last person in the world who wants to hear this, but he's one of those players who underlines the fact that beyond the established Mosconi Cup players, Europe have so much talent waiting in the wings to follow on and maybe even challenge the guys who are doing so well for Europe these days.
Yeah, well, as the game evolves, players evolve, and I expect the team for Europe to change a little bit this year. You know, I say expect, I mean, it just wouldn't surprise me. Plus, it's just kind of how it is in sports. I mean, those great 5 that won last year, they're setting up the players in Europe for the future. You know, kind of guiding them in a sense. All right, can't take your eye off the prize here. First things first, pocket this 8, get on to the 9, and a 5-game lead possibly. And this would be 6 in a row as well. Isn't that right, Michael? I think
that's right.
Billy did win the first game.
Yeah, job done. Half a dozen on the bounce for Fortunski. He leads 6-1. Carl Boyes, meanwhile, is with the defending champion Albin Ocean down on the floor.
Cheers, Michael. I'm here with defending champion. He's just won 9-1. Albin, good match?
Yeah, from my side, it was a good match. I think I ran altogether like 7 racks, so it was better than the last one, and I'm super happy about it.
So you're through to the last 64. What's the plan now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if I got a day off tomorrow, so focus, get some practice time, maybe look back on the matches, especially on the first one. I didn't do much wrong in the second match, but I think there's still another gear.
What's the chances of you defending your title? Is there a stick goal that you're looking to try and do? Obviously get to the last 64, which you've achieved.
I would say 1 out of 64, right? So the chances are, I mean, it's tough, you know. Of course, when you probably in the last 8 or something, you kind of think about it, defending the title, but it's super tough. I don't want to think about it, to be honest. And I just want to look forward to the next match and play my best.
Well, congratulations, you're through to the last 64. Good luck. Back to you guys in the comms.
Yeah, thanks, Carl. It only took about 40 minutes for him to win that match against Daniel Maciol. He'll now play Mats Szczetny or Thomas Kaplan. Szczetny leading 5-4 at the moment.
I think Fortunski broke the balls. He made 2 on the break. No shot on the 3 ball, though. I don't think the guys, you know, at least with the template, they're not really wanting to make the 1 on the side. They're depending on the corner ball down. They're wanting to get the 1 around for some type of shape position to run some racks.
Push out code.
Yeah, I don't think he'll get this back. Billy should put him behind the 6 here, I believe. Come off the left side of the 3, his left side of the 3, go to the side rail and up underneath the 6 ball. Very natural, pretty easy shot, especially from some distance, because you're basically just kind of rolling your ball a little bit. Now, he may have to stun it a hair to get there. I didn't think he did. And he tried to kind of kill it behind there. I don't mind the effort. I don't think he could have ever have passed that back to Fortunski. He had to take a little chance himself. I'll tell you, it looks like it's about to be 7-6 there with Fischer and Immonen. So some kind of match going on.
Yeah, Immonen.
Second feature table, right?
Yeah, Immonen 7-5 at the moment. But as you say, Fischer with a good chance to close that. Well, she's got a simple 9 actually, so that is going 7-6. Mieszko Fortunski, Jeremy, probably can't quite believe just how easily this is all coming to him, this massive lead he's building.
Yeah, and it's been some fine play by him, but also, you know, a good three or four mistakes by Billy that you wouldn't expect.
It was very honest of him to come in after his first match, Billy Thorpe, and deliver such a damning assessment of his own performance. But do you think maybe he does himself no favours by doing that? That maybe he should try and talk himself up a bit more and talk himself into getting a little bit more confidence?
Yeah, because like I said before, it doesn't take much. I mean, Billy isn't, not talking about an older man that's years removed from the game. Talking about a man that's just had, you know, a good 10 months to a year of not playing as much pool, but 25 years old and very, very talented. So I agree with you that stay positive, figure out ways to stay more positive even.
Gotta say, though, it's very hard to do at the moment when he's lost 7 racks on the bounce. Fortunski is already just 2 away from victory. He's absolutely cruising through this match and being put under very little pressure by his opponent. Now, a few moments we have between racks in every match on the main table, or a chance to just keep an eye on what's happening elsewhere. And this is the match we were talking about a moment ago. So many eyes on this moment. Kelly Fischer was 3-0 up. Mika Immonen turned it round, but Fischer really hanging on well. Needs a good shot here, though.
I think that was just a rollout after the break, but she'll get the cue ball probably put right back behind the 8 here. I think, anyways. Would have had to try and maybe roll out a little more difficult than that, just because. Well, yeah, I didn't think she was going to like that much.
Yeah, well, that was it. She needed the good shot to avoid giving Imogen the opportunity to put her straight back into trouble like that.
Yeah, speaking of trouble, Billy Thorpe's in all kinds of trouble here. 7-1 down. And now, you know, Billy's got to wait for it. Oh, he crossed it over there. Didn't make two still, and he may have a thin cut on the one. I don't know for sure, but I mean, Billy's going to try and still win this match, but like you said, do everything you can to stay positive and get some positive things going. So if he gets an opportunity here to put some games together, again, he'll try to win the match, but this is thinking of future matches at this point.
Well, we were talking right at the start of the match about him getting matches under his belt. At the moment, he'd just like to get a few more racks on the table. Play his way back in. Talking yourself up, as we're advocating, only gets you so far.
Oh, sweet hit there. That's a tough shot to shoot at, not only being difficult, but knowing you're not going to get position. You're just basically making a tough shot to play safe on the 2-ball, most likely anyways.
Joshua Filler has drawn level against Oscar Dominguez. 5-all now in that one.
Extension code.
I don't know if he really tries to move the ball a whole lot here. Just bring the 2 out behind the 6 and let the cue ball just roam up towards the purple 5. I don't think he really tries to separate big time. Yeah, that's the shot I saw. Now, Billy, this is that opportunity I was talking about. A little light with the object ball for Mieszko. He's giving up an offensive shot.
The winner of this match, incidentally, in the next round will face Wojciech Szewczyk or Ko Pin Yi. They have yet to start their match. Even with everything that's gone before, very hard to imagine Thorpe not closing to 7-2 here.
A choice here. Stay on the short side of the 8 or come across. Yeah, no problem. Well, that overran a bit. Not as difficult as what we saw. Was it some in our opening match missed a similar 6-ball? It was a little more difficult in this one.
Yeah, very early on in the match, and it seemed to knock him back for a few racks. So finally, after losing 7 in a row, Billy Thorpe on the main table. We've been watching Mieszko Fortunski dominant against Billy Thorpe. The American did win rank 9, but boy did he need it after losing 7 in a row. He's 7-2 down as he breaks.
He's got a nice opening shot on the 2. Long shot. I think he's got to work the cue ball a little bit. He's got to stun it 1 rail out. I don't know if he can follow this ball with the purple being there. So he may have to kind of pull this out to the center and take a little thin cut on the 4. Yeah.
Just sums up his evening, doesn't it? Look where it's finished.
Yeah. It's unsettled, it looked like, when he took position to play that shot. It's one of those in-between shots that, again, doesn't help. You're, you know, not feeling 100%. Or I don't think Billy's feeling close to 100% actually, but.
Excellent catchy, now 6-4 up against Tolian Han. Joshua Filler turning things around nicely against Oscar Dominguez. Filler now 7-5 in that one. And Mika Immonen did go 8-6 up against Kelly Fisher. I believe Fisher, though, has just closed that back to 8-7. Indeed, she has. Arts Evo on the hill, 8-3. He leads Petri Makinen. And Niels Fine is through, a 9-3 winner over Bashar Hussein Abdul-Majid.
A little kiss on the 6 there, but I think he got into an offensive position here on the 5. He's going to have to address the cue ball some kind of way, though. If he comes back, he's got to worry about some side pockets. If he goes forward, you know, kind of straight across, he may bump the 6 a little bit. This is a dangerous little shot right here. Not only a missable ball, very obvious missable ball, but nothing easy for position. I don't know if I'd take a chance coming above this or not. I may go into the 6 here. He did a great job, really, using a lot of side spin.
And looks to be heading for the hill now. John Morra, the dangerous Canadian, was on the hill, but he's just completed victory in the last few moments against Marco Teucher, 9 racks to 2.
Yeah, it's a huge win for John. Another guy that you kind of wonder when that real big win's coming, right? Of course, John. What is John? Probably about, I would guess, 36, 37 now.
This man has just entered his 30s. The early signs are that they could be quite memorable, as he's playing nicely here.
Take a 8-2 lead. Last time he'll break the balls in this match, so coming up.
Yeah, 8-2 then. Now, a Naoki Oi interview is always something to enjoy, and we can hear from him now with Michael.
I'm here with Japan's Naoki Oi. He's through to the last 64. Naoki, good match?
Very good match. All serious and all play. You know?
We're being quiet. We're being quiet. No one can hear us.
Yeah. Really?
No
problem.
You can be louder. You can be louder.
Yeah, I today play very good feeling, and I put on walking inside. Good play dancing.
Naoki, obviously you like to have a little bit of fun, but you're a serious player. You're close to winning this tournament. I remember a few years ago you actually beat me in the quarterfinals. Remember that match? I've still not forgot.
Oh, yes, I go. Maybe final. Go to the final, yeah? Yeah, remember me? Me and you last night, World Championship last 8 match, yeah? I get win.
I've still not forgot that match, Naoki. Naoki, good luck in the last 64.
I
hope it's your year. Thank you very much. Michael, back to you.
Track 11. Mieszko Fortunski break.
Yeah, thanks. It was actually Carl Boyes putting the questions there. Can you imagine what it would be like if Naoki Oi actually did win a World Championship? I mean, it doesn't bear thinking what his reaction would be like.
Well, in the last 2 years, he's made a lot of runs at some big events. He's put himself in position to get those wins. Kind of like, you know, Albin talked about, you get to that final 8, you get to that final 16, then you really start entertaining a victory maybe. And I believe we may be hill with Kelly Fisher and Mika Immonen. Not 100% about that, but I think so.
Yeah, it was 8-7. They've completed another rack and they're being racked up again. So, yeah, can absolutely confirm now it is hill-hill there.
Pretty good speed there from Fortunski. I think he may have left a little piece of the one ball. Nothing easy for Billy, and it's kind of like if you're stuck in that position right here at 8-2 and the way the match has gone, I wouldn't doubt if Billy goes down swinging right here at this one ball. Looks like he might be banking it back up. Nice shot, I think, anyways. Oh no, never mind. He did give him a look at the one. So Fortunski should edge this one ball, come back behind the 3. Just edge the ball up the rail a little bit. He went for the bank.
Waiting for the drop that never materialized.
Billy's gonna have to draw this cue ball out. Oh, never mind. He's not. That ball's deep, hard to predict. He got out there decent. He got a nice angle on the 2 to draw back for the 3. 5 goes in the side.
Mark Boisterbosch, the steadily improving Dutchman, is through. He's just seen off Daryl Chia Tsu-Yu, 9-4. And I believe he's going to play Joshua Filler now, because I understand Filler has completed victory over Oscar Dominguez. Don't have a final result for you, but it looks like Boisterbosch against Filler now in the next round.
Well, that Filler, he doesn't take long to get things done. I'm guessing it was 9-5. Probably didn't let Oscar back to the table. Must be a little flat here. Has, you know, too much angle to hold for the 6, but not enough angle to easily move the cue ball, you know, to the top rail there and back. Okay. I wouldn't be too upset about this if I was Billy from where he was. Pretty lean here. Cut this in, go back and forth. The 7. He pulled it off the rail.
And that may very well be that. Another shot that I think really sums up his evening, as does his reaction to it. And he's really got to go away and have a big rethink now before come the loser's side tomorrow, as now looks pretty inevitable. Seems a long time now since Billy Thorpe won the opening rack. Since then, it's been pretty much all Mieszko Fortunski. He's won 9 out of 10. And I don't think anyone really saw as comfortable a victory